When it came to making the crystals, we had to make 6 different colors. Clear is relatively easy because we make that just out of clear glass. But the colored ones have to have a small amount of color inside each one. This color is a chunk of transparent color. It's going to get thinner as we blow it up. And we only need a thinnest sliver of this concentrated color to make it a tinted crystal.
The edge of the glass, the broken edge that was around it, kind of just melts down into a nice little round donut that'll pick up the color. And that way we can blow directly into the color.
We have to put a crease in it here so that much later on we can break it off and make it fall off the blowpipe where we want it to. So you can see that color getting thinner and thinner as we blow it. And you'll be able to start seeing through that color in a little while. I can feel it getting softer and it's starting to move on the pipe. And when it's soft enough, I can come out and blow some more. These tools are called jacks, and they have beeswax on them to stop them from sticking to the glass. They haven't changed design in 2,000 years. We use a wet newspaper here to shape the glass, and this is about as close as I ever get to touching the glass with my own hands. I can almost feel the glass underneath the paper. I can almost feel it in my hands. So we take a small amount of colored glass and cover it with molten clear glass and blow it into a mold which is shaped like a diamond. All right. Looking good. That's then put in an oven to cool it down overnight.
We had a blast. You know, we finally got to the point where we had a lot of the bugs worked out in terms of producing crystals that were of high quality. It was at that time that we really started to relax and we really started to enjoy that process. And just the camaraderie in the studio was outstanding.
Oh no! Oh no! After we made the crystals, we stored them in large boxes. And as we unpack those crystals, ready to sort them, to categorize them, which are the best, which are the seconds, which are the next to the seconds, we needed to put them all out. And the moment of displaying them all in a large gallery, which was part of Studio 4, was really a wonderful moment for us because we got to see all of these crystals that we'd made for the first time all together. Sorting them into colors, seeing the beautiful reflections from the crystals onto the white walls of the gallery, and the spotlights from the gallery playing on the surfaces of these iridescent crystals. I think we felt like the 7 dwarfs in the mine. Ooh, that's crisp. That's one of the best I've seen. That's A+.
That is really a good one.
And those crystals are then processed through cold processes. And so what we have to do is cut off this part here with a diamond saw. Once that's done, it looks like this. And it's really quite rough. After that's been done, it's necessary to grind them down carefully until they reach this mark that we've made. Perry's working over there on a diamond grinder, and he's got a diamond pad. In fact, he uses 2 diamond pads. The first diamond pad's rather rough, and it grinds away the worst part of it where all the chips are. And then after that, he'll go again and do a smooth grind on it. And after the smooth grind, it's ready to have a lid cut for it. What we have to do is cut a piece of window glass exactly the same shape as the opening on the crystal. So what we do is take it to a cork wheel with pumice powder, and by making a slurry or like a mud of pumice powder, we can put that on the wheel, and it's the pumice powder that actually polishes the surface. After doing a few, you get to know just how much to do. On the colored ones especially, the bevel makes this lid have the same color as the rest of the crystal. Oh, we also had to drill a small hole into each crystal to let it breathe, otherwise steam, we realized, would build up inside each crystal. That lid has to be secured onto that blown crystal with a very special glue, and that is done with ultraviolet light, and that takes a while to cure. So we have a blank crystal which can then be engraved, and that engraving is done by generating some writing on a computer, which is then put through a mask cutting process. The masks are then put on the crystals, and then they're engraved by blasting them with grit, removing the mask and revealing the wording that's on each of the crystals. And then the crystal's packed and stored, ready for installation into the arch. And that's the way we did it. We made about 500 in order to get 360, and in many cases we used every one of the spares we could. We almost didn't have enough.
The fabricators here, MoFab, are in the process of constructing the arch here in their facilities. Once they've got all of the sections put together on the armature that's behind me and all of the important welding, they'll take that apart in 2 sections and it will be moved up to the site. But right now they're still making the longitudinal sections and assembling those together. They're actually bolted together first, and then a little bit later they'll be welded together. I've been the person chiefly to come over and communicate with the welders and the fabricators about how the process is going, and whenever they've encountered any difficulties or there were things that they weren't quite sure about in the way that the model is put together, I've been able to discuss that with them.